What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel, online at www.whatsupinthesky.com, willfarrar.net. Yes, check it out. I actually have something there now. I used to just go to like a 505 error, and I actually tried to redo some of it. I got some old music on there, be blogging about AI stuff, all sorts of things. But today we are focused on Mars, and if you saw the short about this, I've been trying to do shorts and things like that. I really am trying to get the channel going again. So I was like, let me go find a saw that I can do, just to start off the bat. All these pictures were taken on Mars on one day. All these anomalies in one area in one day. And ever since the rovers have gotten there, literally since we've started sending rovers, we've been dealing with these. And now with all the UFO stuff out there, I'm not sure what the agenda is for it all coming out right now. But not a better time. It's a better time to get out and start educating people, especially with all these channels out there right now that are putting fake stuff out there. Half these shorts are fake. It's pretty sad. I know I got a lot of friends on here that worked a really long time. This channel is like 14 years old. We've been doing this for a long time, and there's been people way before us that were doing it. So anyway, let me get back to the video here. It's 790. I went in and I made this mosaic, this panorama. If you can see, this was very interesting. This is in the way back of it. I estimate this to be probably about 2 feet tall here, maybe a little bit more since it's a little bit further away. But you're going to see these what look like these little baby tuck-ins, almost just like what I believe happened on Mars. Just like what happened on Earth, most likely to a civilization, 12,000 years ago. Something where there was definitely something that came and destroyed and took out a lot of stuff, like the Younger Dryas stuff that's been going on. A lot of people have been talking about that, and the evidence just looks really good for it. And this could have affected Mars too, as well. I'm not sure about the timeline. I used to say millions of years in our videos that we're looking at stuff, but either way, whatever destroyed Mars, it left it in pieces and shambles, and you're looking at what it destroyed statues and things look like, which is what it looks like here on Earth as well. If you check out some of my videos before, I always like to use stuff from Earth as well to say, hey, check this out. But now I'm gonna say, you guys wanted some videos? 790, here we go. Let's do it. I'm gonna show you some. We're gonna start off over on the other side of this, but just right off the bat, if you can see the symmetry in some of these rocks, they look like they've been tossed around, thrown, strewn. Now hang in here. I don't want to get anybody sick. And right here, and I've got one more saw here too. This is 790, and I got 7 because I noticed this was really blurry. And I made this mosaic. It came from my, I downloaded all the pictures from 790. This is a This is a right mask cam. And the left mask cam shows the same blurriness, so it's kind of weird how it didn't do that over here somewhat in the back, but it did do it really hardcore here. So what we've done, I noticed that the day before they had the same area, and I should have that ready to go. I did when I first did another video about this. This is like the third time, fourth time I tried to restart these videos, and because just getting back into the hang of it, I used to be able to rattle these off so easily, but it's a whole new ball game now. I have a whole new life. There's a family here, my girlfriend here, her daughter. So I've got I've got my setup here. I got a new computer. That's one thing that was holding me back. My old Mac was just couldn't take it anymore, and it finally died. So I have a new M2 MacBook Pro that I'm working with. It looks like NASA around me with all the screens. I'm very blessed when it comes to that. Check that thing out back there. What in the world? Like I said, it just looks like a big line full of stuff. Either was something grounded in, or there's some just happens to be there, and it happens to have about 2 feet of width on each side. Very interesting. And this isn't the greatest because this is one's actually caught my eye. This because you can see this up here too. This part we're going to look at next on the other video, or on the other on 790. But that caught my eye, and then I was glad that I saved all these too and made this one as well, because there's just a lot of stuff in here. But the video, the quality wasn't as good this day when it took the pictures. Some of the stuff I wanted to see wasn't there, but you can see all of the strange stuff that's just strewn about. It is literally like a junkyard, Uncle Jake's junkyard, as we have said in the past. Here we have a perfect triangular piece that just sits above. And what they've called all these things are buttes, is what they've called these. They're just where Perseverance landed, right? Basically, it's almost like these they come up and into like these. They look pyramidal, but they don't go all the way up to the top. They look like they're cut off. Just amazing. And around them is stuff just strewn about everywhere. So who knows what destroyed Mars? I know that here on Earth we've been looking at younger Dryas that maybe it took out some higher civilization, and maybe that some of the ruins that we see here on Earth are a lot older than we thought, and people maybe have came and built upon them. A lot of the structures have very, very, very perfect, all around the world, have perfect, huge megalithic blocks at the bottom, and at the top, not so much. It almost looks like we lost some knowledge. Here you're going to see just, look at that, it almost looks like it was melted with butter, that piece. All right, so let me switch back over to the other one, and let's go at it. Because like I said, this one's a very interesting one. I'm not trying to make you sick here, so you got to see that. And we will start over here. And like I said, Mars, definitely, like, I've gotten so many videos where I've actually put pictures of, stuff from Earth, from Pumapunku, things that were destroyed and thrown about everywhere, and it looks just like this stuff. And they're always at the top of these so-called buttes. There's a lot of symmetry in things, and these intricate carvings and intricate pieces. Let's look at this. These came down to very high quality. So these are not artifacts, JPEG artifacts. These are actual. If you can see that in there on here on this 24-inch monitor I'm looking at, it looks pretty good. But like the symbols of some of this stuff is still there, and you can see the shapes. Look at the shapes that are built into this piece. Perfectly rounded out. Something that, I can see Mother Nature doing it, but I can't see it doing on a level where all of it in this one area, it is just shaping things out. So here you've got this interesting piece like rebar or something that comes out. And up top here, once again, you have a shaped piece. Here, this piece right here has a lot more purple to it, like when I darkened it up. I also white balanced this. I don't know if I said this in the beginning. These were white balanced pictures. So I took these. Basically, I grabbed all the stuff from 790. I took all of the with the right mass cam shots. I stuck it into the panorama stitcher and let it go to town. This is what it shot out. From that, I took it and I removed that dirt-looking brown background that you get with it. That comes down from the rover, and it just does not look real at all. You can tell it's added because all you have to do is hit auto color, and it pretty much just changes it right back to this. Now, statues, stuff like that, just tossed around. Look how these no, I'm saying this isn't a cavern or something like this. This isn't huge unless the Martians were very, very small, which they could have been. Well, who am I to know or guess or say? It's amazing what we find here on Earth. All shapes and sizes of life. But this seems to be a common area around here where Perseverance is now, where there's what looks like ruins where you've got these perfect shapes to them and these divots like the one we just looked at over there. This comes up and then there's just like a little cavern down in there. Pretty interesting, and it's at the top of this piece. Here you've got what looks to be another perfect shape under there that's been caked with mud and God knows what over the years. And always at the top you have these interesting pieces that look like they could have been carvings, walls, if they're not laying on the ground all knocked up and knocked over. But check that out. Just interesting piece. Comes down, comes to a head, or comes to that little square off. And we're talking pretty cool stuff, I must say. Once again, you've got these pieces, and I swear, I feel like you just pick all these up together, the ones that match in color, and put them back together and set them on a pedestal. Look at look at that right there. How these seem to be just flattened out up the top. Now that I did that somehow the panorama did that. I looked through the pictures and all the ones I did from that day this saw turned out with that. I didn't get a chance to see if that's actually on the image, but that is not an artifact that's up there. I do not believe that's anything but something I did. Now what would stuff look like years and years if it was metal? Let's just say Mars was wet at one time. It got hot, it dried out, there was a nuclear explosion. Who knows? But what I see here is sometimes stuff that looks like metal that's been just melted, and you're looking at whatever it used to be after years of sitting in the sun, sitting in the heat, being hit by the Martian winter or the Martian cold, and then the sandstorms that come around, and it just kind of takes its toll on the stuff. But whatever hit this thing, whatever happened, must have been really hot. Here you have what looks to be like a tablet or something buried. And when I say that, I see what I see, you see what you see. That's always been my motto here. I just kind of, it just is what it is. I see what I see, you see what you see. It's pretty self-evident. Now, this looks like what you would see here on Earth. Polygonal masonry. I love the Mystery History channel, or History Mystery, one of the two. It's always on. They're always putting stuff on. The guy's always like, we find that highly compelling. There's been some stuff on there that I've gone on and had to say, hey, I know that's been debunked or something like that, but they do a really good job of stoking your mind, especially with the old structures here on Earth. God, there's so much music. It's amazing. Some of the stuff that I want to start looking at it, getting into and sharing with you guys. I've learned so much over the years just with different knowledge, and I'm going to start making different type of videos. I'm also going to start making AI videos, tech videos. I've already got the channel here, so I might as well use it. Me out back messing with the go-kart. I got a lot of videos I've made, so hopefully you guys who are just space fans stick with me through that. I really do. You could always say, oh, just pop in if you see space stuff, but like the AI stuff and making images and things, it's crazy what can be done, which can lead us into some interesting conversations. So I'm going to do some more of the live. Now that I actually have a computer that can do it live, my old one just couldn't handle it. It would not stream. So this, my friend, is about, if I back that thing up, I'd probably say this, I'd put this at about 3 feet tall, maybe even a little bit more than that. And then I'm only going that from the rover tracks that I saw over here. So I might be wrong there, but this stuff is not minuscule. It's not like many. A lot of times when stuff, we find stuff, people come back and say, ha ha ha, that's only 2 inches. Well, the Martians could have been 2 inches. Who knows? But look at the shape of it. How interesting is that? Look at the markings on it. Now, let's say that just could be from the beating, just like rocks here on Earth have, just the weathering. But definitely the overall shape of it is really cool. You gotta admit that. All right. So like I said, this is all just one image. One day, one panorama, one day in the life of the rover. That's it. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So let's keep on rocking here. I don't want to take too much of your time up. Here, I thought this one was awesome. Not just because you had that weird stuff in the back, but this seems to be shaped and then looks like almost like it was cut. But see how this is shaped and formed around and then has almost like it was carved or formed, that way. Here you've just got something that's coming up and into it. So I wonder what the rest of this would look like down there if we could get into it. And like it chopped off or something like that, Who knows how advanced the civilization really was. That's one thing that I put it with whoever was building in stone here. We see the same type of stone building that they did on Mars. Excuse me for bashing the microphone there. And over here is where we find that really interesting rock that I started out with. The I don't know, the boot that actually looks like the Wicked Witch from from the Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch's shoes. If we just paint them things red. But check that out. I mean, that's pretty cool. How does that form and end up sticking upright next to another thing that looks like it has a little cavern in it? Like I said, that is a little bit small to be a real cavern, but who knows how big the Martians were. Listen, more symmetry. More symmetry. Now, let's go take a look down here. A lot of this stuff is kind of blurred out, which is very just kind of disheartening. I really think they are. Listen, least right now with all these UFO things being put out on TV, at least they want us to think that there are UFOs, extraterrestrials, and things like that. Now here we have 2 pieces of white debris that are not from the rover, not from anything, and are just sitting there kind of out of place if you look around. Not sure what that is, but it's interesting. It's going to blur out if I get that close to it, but oh, here comes the other Photoshop. Ooh, I got Photoshop beta open because, like I said, I've been doing all the AI stuff and making pictures, working with ChatGPT, and really it's making me so much more productive in life, work. The people are scared of the AI and things like that. Really need to try and start embracing it, especially if you want to keep up with tasks that are mundane and things like that. And you can, like, literally, I've been a programming websites and stuff my whole life, but just with the knowledge I have and then using it as a tool, I'm able to do so much more. It's amazing. So this is an interesting piece out here, which is really far off in the distance, so there's not much I can do other than say that is friggin' cool. As we move on over to this side here where it starts to get even cooler, let's see, another piece that's just kind of shaped up. Then we have this area here, which I love to wish we could have seen above it. Let's take a look at that for a second. What are we looking at here? I mean, we could be rock, but see these pieces in it? Then we have this that almost looks like a a dome something. You know, you can see the piece carved out of it. Up here, there's pieces that look to be perfectly symmetric. That when I'm saying if you just cut it right down the middle, it would fold in half. Here again, look at that. The perfect circle with the piece, the bevel. Now, what would the odds be that would be right next to that? And then it's just seen so much of this here on Mars. I've looked at so many of these pictures that I just have got it. It's part of the reason why I hadn't made videos for a long time, because it gets to the point where it's monotonous. You know, it said I could just pick one day, one saw. I saw that. I went to the website whatsupinthesky.com. I went to there's a Perseverance rover gigapan thing there that Todd does. I clicked on it, and right away, bam, as I smashed the mic again. I got to use that. Usually I have a headset on, but we will get used to doing this again. I promise. Like I said, now I got the new Apple. I'm setting some time aside. Going to do some live streams. I'm trying to do some more stuff with Chris, some of my buddies from the UFA. Interesting piece out here. I didn't really check that one out too much before the video, but there's definitely just a feel of workness to it. If you look at this and you don't feel, no, this is just random rocks. I guess, like I said, I've just looked at a lot of what Earth has, you know, when it comes to these rocks. Now here we have an apex, you know, something here that literally, except for this piece right here that's been chopped off, that's almost, from this angle, it looks like a perfect triangle or perfect pyramid. Maybe even a 3-sided. Let's see. It will look like cut-in steps. Look at these. Now let me just. But who knows how this stuff was laid at one time? And as we're going to come up into some interesting pieces right here. Right here, check this out. This white piece that's hanging off this. Now this is not something from the rover, but it sure does look like an artifact, doesn't it? How it comes up, it's got really interesting pieces in it, and then up here it almost looks connected. Too cool for me. Like I said, it's been a long time since I made a video. I'm excited. I tried to make this video literally like 4 or 5 times, and I'm just gonna go with this one. I think, you know, it's actually kind of intimidating coming back and making videos again. I used to do this stuff all the time. Like I said, I feel like I got a lot to share with people, not just about Mars. Like, a lot is going on in the world, and there's a lot going on with technology, imaging technology, video technology, and there are going to be people out there looking to scam people with it and to trick people. And like I said, I could take 5 pictures of you from your Facebook account and make a picture of you doing anything. You cannot trust anything you see anymore. I hate to say that, but literally you cannot. This is cool. This was one of the pieces that I had on the a snapshot that I have. Once again, that circular bevel piece. In the front, it's got some weird open spots. It's just too cool. And these are fairly big. Like I said, these are fairly big and fairly definitely seem to be worked, some of these pieces. Now imagine if like a piece of like, you know, water or something just rushed through the whole thing and just destroyed everything and strewn this stuff about. This is what we'd be looking at. I mean, another perfect shape here. It's got a nice beveled, nice perfect piece through there. Not sure what's going on in the front, but it does look pretty smooth. Pretty smooth. Another piece right here. This looked like a ramp. I had this on the short as well. This side, what gets me with this one, this side right here, and then this side look to have the same shape. There's just a little bit of a dip here that brings it off, but it almost looks like a little baby ramp. Top of something that could have gotten destroyed and flipped over as it was as the water came through or as the earthquakes hit, whatever happened to take it out. Once again, you have another one of these big stones that look like they're, just huge in size. Anything else down here we want to see, everybody? Let's see. Anybody else see anything? There's a little bit of another little apex right there. Look at that piece, very smooth. Once again, almost cut like that one up at the top with the notch. The top left we went into. Oh, this was one I wanted to show you guys too. Check this out. You've got this block here that seems to be cut up and it has some pieces and stuff like that. Like I said, this looks like a cornerstone or something. And then right here, you've got a piece that seems to be almost like it was scooped on down. And then here in the front, you've got some intricate work done to it. All right. I think that's about it. Literally, this Gigapan, I'm going to link the Gigapans from Todd on my channel. I'll say if you go to the website, I always have an article about this. Right now, I'm going to be redesigning the website, making it easier for everybody to use. More and more. See the cracks in this stuff? Like literally, it was just cracked. Like something happened on Mars. It took it out. Let me come back up here to the top. Let's take a look at that one piece one more time. Didn't see that one out there either. Just this one. This just was too cool to me. Like, what in nature makes that just, has it sitting there? Anyway. All right, guys. So check it out. Check out wolfraw.net if you want to. Like I said, I'm inviting you to the preview of it. I just started making it again. And then whatsupinthesky.com, as always. If you can hit the subscribe and like bar, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff that everybody always tells you to on YouTube. And, when you see me pop up, come check out the videos. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some different things. Like I said, I've got stuff for me doing the go-kart. Even Teresa out there doing her gardening. We've been doing it's been a heck of a couple of years. I'm excited. I feel good. I missed the interaction with you guys. It really was a lot of fun, you guys, you girls, you people. I love you all. So anyway, much love to you and yours. I hope you're having a good one. It's good to be back, and it's good to talk to you guys again and just be entertaining without the headsets. It's a little weird, but got my Rick and Morty hat on. Gotta love Rick and Morty. If you guys haven't, if you're not a fan, but I'm sure we got some of you all out there say so. Wubba lubba dub dub to you guys. Peace.